Right, here we go with some hints for homework sheet 5. First question, completing a square. So let's remind you how we do that. We take the 2 out as a common factor between the 2 and the 4. So you get 2 bracket x squared plus 2x, take away 3. Then we go straight to completing the square. The number which goes in here is half of the 2. So that's positive 1, square it. Now you ask yourself, what is 1 squared? Multiply it by 2, how do I reach negative 3? And then that's the number which goes at the end here. For part B of the question, it's a wee bit different because it's got this negative x squared shown. So we need to deal with the negative x squared. Best way to do that is just rewrite it as negative x squared plus 3x plus 5. And then, just as you did up here where you took the 2 as a common factor, now you're going to take negative 1 as a common factor. So that's going to give you negative 1 bracket x squared. It's going to change that sign plus 5. Now you just do the same as you did before. Half of this number in here, square it, multiply it by negative 1. How do you reach 5? When it comes to part C, which is 3x bracket x add 4 add 15. First thing you need to do is remove the brackets. 3x squared add 12x add 15, and then take your common factor, then do your squared, then get your number at the end. Question 2. Now be careful, I've swapped the formulas round for what you're normally seeing, so this time it's g of f of x. So the f formula is going to substitute in. So that means you're going to have to work out 3x add 1 squared add 1. Okay, remove all the brackets and tidy that up. The second part of the question is to show that it's got no real roots. So once you get your answer here, whatever it is, plug that into the b squared minus 4ac formula, and you should find that b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. For the second part of the question, you've got to work out, oops, I've just remembered, that's not the second part. Now let's deal with part B. Part B, find the values of k such that h of g of f of x has equal roots. So this time we're plugging the g f of x formula into the h. What's the g of f of x formula? That's the answer you got previously. Okay, now I'm going to be nice to you and tell you that the answer you got previously should have been 9x squared plus 6x plus 2. So this is the formula which goes in here. Okay, rearrange that formula so you've got ax squared plus bx plus c, plug it into your b squared minus 4ac, and because it's equal roots, put it equal to 0 and then solve. It's quite a hard question, is number 2. Question 3, a bit easier. We can work out the centre of the circle. We know the point on the edge. Question tells us that is 6, 9. And then we just go through our procedures. Work out the gradient of the radius, work out the gradient of the tangent, use your y minus b equals x minus a. Question 4, we have a triangle similar to this. The first line you have to work out is the equation of AC. So this red line here. How do you do that? We work out the gradient of AC, because you know these points. The question tells you what these points are. Once you've got the gradient, then you just go straight to y minus b equals mx minus a, using either point A or point C in the formula. Part B, same triangle. This time you have to find the altitude BP. So that's this line down here at right angles. How am I going to do that? Well, you know from the previous work you've got gradient of AC. You've done that. So if you get the perpendicular gradient and then use point B and your y minus b equals mx minus a. Okay, and then the last part of the question, part C, that's just your normal simultaneous equations. Question 5, just doing this in class, show that PQR are collinear. So work out what PQ is, work out what PER is, and you should find that one of these is a multiple of the other. So you can then write down your statement and the ratio. Back here, your previous answer, you had already worked out what PQ actually was. It's this answer here. So all you need to do is just put part B. We're told that PES is 4 PEQs. Now PES is little s minus little p. 4 PQs, well you've got that because your previous answer, that in here, okay, we know what P is, it's given in the question. So S is just going to be your answer to 4 times that vector plus your vector P. And that should be what S is. Remember, it's a coordinate, so you need to write it as a horizontal point, not a vertical vector. Lastly, question 6. We know this graph crosses here at -2, here at -1, and here at +2. So the roots are x is -2, x is -1, x is 2. So what does that mean? That means that one bracket had to be x add 2, because that's what gave rise to that answer. One bracket would need to be, and the last bracket would need to be. Now to make it in our formula, you just put y equals in the front. However, it's not quite as simple as that, because remember, we need to work out what that value k is. How are you going to do that? We're going to use this point here, which is -2. So we're now going to substitute 0, -2 into this formula. Okay, we're going to put -2 where y is, and then we're going to put the 0 where the x's are. And if you do that, that'll let you work out what k is, so you can get the answer. Okay, check back your jotter. You've done some of them in your jotter. Right guys, hope it helps.